Well, here we are. Look, I'm a minute early. I can't believe it. Well, I can never be accused of never being on time. Just most of the time not being on time. Thanks for everybody that's already in the chat. Got some really cool stuff today. We got a new barrel pick confirmed. Man, I'm feeling pretty positive today. We're going to talk about the barrel pick. We're going to talk about. I'm going to actually do the Redwood Empire toasted triple finish in a live review of this. You guys are going to see me review this. Nobody has reviewed this. Nobody has tasted this. I'm very lucky to have one of the very first bottles of this to talk about, and I'll talk about it with you guys. I think you guys are going to be very interested in that. And beyond that, I don't remember what else we were supposed to talk about. I tell you what, I got my phone up here. If any of you that have my text number send messages, I'm gonna be able to see it. And I'm gonna tell you the last thing we're gonna talk. Forgot about the last thing we're gonna talk about. I want to tell you guys what we're gonna be doing for February, for some giveaways and when our next drop is. Just all kinds of stuff. We're just gonna go over a bunch of crap, just a bunch of bull crap. All right. Yeah, you guys. Okay, so I know Rick and I we're jiving right now. What's up there, Michael? Michael made it. Are you in your jammies, cuddled up? So the Redwood Empire Toasted is supposed to start hitting shelves in March. You may see it before then. Let's see. What do we start with? Let's not start with this. I'm not going to start with this. I do want to. If you guys are patrons, you probably already saw the post come out. We were able to actually get confirmation of the Texas, because there's so much going on right now. As you guys know, we're going to Las Vegas for a barrel pick to do a rare character in 2 weeks. I already put the survey out on Patreon for that. If you haven't responded to that yet and you think you want to go, let me know. We don't have enough places for everybody that responded, so I got a really great system to try and make sure we make it as fair as possible. We'll take into account people that have not been on picks before. We'll also take into account your tier. So there's going to be a scoring system that's going to take all of that into account. The new one we got confirmation on is we are going to get to do you heard it here first, unless you looked at Patreon first. We are going to get to do a Still Austin single barrel pick with the new Still Austin single barrel label, which I'm super excited about because I think it was a brilliant idea to do that. That is going to be in early March, the 4th, I believe, right around my birthday. Happy birthday to me. We're going to actually be going out to the Rick house. John's going to join us. We're going to be thieving from some stuff. Some things have been thrown around. Out there. I don't know if I want to be too specific about it, but the word tanager was thrown out. Nancy was thrown out. I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but if you're interested in going that in your Patreon, please make sure that you get in and fill out the participation thing. Also, Kentucky is coming together. We've got the dates for Kentucky. The participation survey is on Patreon for the dates in Kentucky. It's official. We're going to be doing a pursuit. We're going to do the wild turkey, and we're going to do a wilderness trail. That's going to be a little bit of a quick in and out. I know the Mrs. and I are flying in a day early so we can go to the Pegasus Parade for the Kentucky Derby Festival on Sunday. I spent a little time in Kentucky when I was in high school, and the Kentucky Derby Festival, if you're not familiar, is a big deal in Kentucky. It goes for like 2 weeks before the Derby, and there's lots of events and stuff. One of the big things is the parade that goes on, and we're just going to go out and go to that for my own nostalgic purposes. So some of you, I have seen some of you are getting the Onyx and Amber and the rare character. I am very curious. Here's the thing. I am most interested in what you guys think about the Joseph Magnus. So I will tell you right now, and I'm kind of tooting my own horn, but I'm not saying this just to toot my own horn. This is very quickly becoming one of my favorite bottles of whiskey. This one, I don't know if it's a sleeper because it's not a cheap bottle of whiskey, so it's hard to say this is a sleeper, but this is a bottle we're not talking about enough. I know it's a little expensive, but damn, I'm cutting into that bottle pretty quick, and that's not really from Sharon. That's really from me. This is really, really good. Oh, as far as the toast, Thomas, your question about the toasted Redwood, I have already requested that we get some inventory for the toasted triple finish. I know this is supposed to be very limited. Elliot told me it was going to be very limited, so I don't know. I put in for it. Listen, it worked last time with the Pipe Dream 101. We got a whole mess of it. I still have some that we ordered, Also on the Redwood Empire subject, you guys, there are 12 bottles, 6 and 6, of 2 different haystack rye mash bills that I was able to get for the store. It's not ones we picked. They're just 2 different rye mash bill bottles. You can get them at the shop. They're a little more expensive than our single barrel was. Not sure why that is, but I figured I'll take them. I'll put them in the shop. And if you guys wanted to get a Redwood Empire haystack single barrel rye, that is there and they're available right now. We are going to re-release. I did pigeonhole. We're going to re-release the Redwood Empire whiskey bonded pick at some point. We basically sold out the ones that I wanted to sell out. Speaking of which, I think the chicken cock is just about ready to sell out what I wanted to sell out of those too. It's been going pretty well. You guys, the Onyx and Amber is gone. The Onyx and Amber is gone. There's very little. I reserve a few bottles all the time for breakages and losses and all that stuff. Those are gone, except for a couple of bottles, which we will release at some point. Cutting your labels so they look better. Are you talking about the necks? I always kind of cut them carefully. I don't like them to get all torn up. If you see a label on one of my bottles is torn up, it's because something happened to it in shipping. Because I don't like them all torn up. Okay, so again, Still Austin. We are getting our own Still Austin pick. I don't know if we're gonna do bourbon or rye. I found out today that the single barrel rye is actually one of their slowest selling SKUs, which makes no sense to me. That it's one of their slowest selling SKUs, because like the Kitsap whiskey blend that we did is absolutely freaking fantastic. So I don't know if we're gonna go with. We'll probably go with what tastes good. I don't know, but we may end up seeing if we can find a good bourbon just for sale's sake. Ooh, oh, Gordon got the ampersand malice. I want to wonder what you think about that. I'll tell you a hint on the malice and the vanilla. Don't drink anything super strong flavored before you drink those. The beauty in those bottles is the subtlety. You really got to kind of get into them, take a few sips, let it roll around on your palate a little bit before you're really going to get a sense of where that really shines. What's up, Izzo's Place? If you guys have any questions for me, please put it in the comment. Otherwise, we're going to go over some of this stuff right now. So you guys got the single barrels. Go to whiskeyBonded.com. 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 Boop. WhiskeyBonded.com. You guys, obviously, if you're not familiar with whiskeyBonded.com, there it is. Patreon is here. That's where you're going to find all the information on the trips. Single barrel drops page has been updated. I updated the single barrel drops for the things that are going on. I'll tell you what we've got coming. I added a new single barrel drop detail for the next single barrel drop. We don't have a date yet, but I'll go over that with you in just a minute. Man, there's a lot going on. The clicking around. I'm clicking around the things. Okay. So I want to tell you guys, because the single barrel drop, the next single barrel drop is likely going to push into early March, just because I'm waiting for something to come in, which I'll tell you guys about here shortly. We're going to do giveaways for the Patreon in February. What ended up happening was I ended up getting way too much aged and ore stuff. So I want to give it away. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to have to watch the Patreon for the actual what we're going to give away and to who. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're giving away. I got some really good stuff. If you guys don't know, Aged and Ore does some really cool bottle carriers and some sample flights and some glasses and some decanters and some all kinds of stuff. And I want to tell you about what we're giving away. Zekro, getting your picks and Bruzel's Friday could be a good weekend. Interesting. You know, I will tell you guys something. As much as I really like TJ, I really like TJ personally. He's a very cool guy. He's been very open and honest about talking to me about things and answering my phone calls and all that stuff. I really haven't had an opportunity to buy any of his picks or get to know him. I mean, do you guys know if anybody besides Zekro, you guys gotten many of Bruzel's picks and how are they? I mean, are they really good? I know that Bruzel is not one of those guys that's got one of those super funky, refined palates or styles. I think he just is kind of like the way we pick them, in that you drink them and you like what you like and you pick what you like. But he's got so many of them. I don't know. How are Bruzel's picks? That's the only thing I don't really know about the man. I appreciate his content. I think he's an absolute lunatic. He's definitely a whiskey lover. But I don't know how his picks are. Maybe you can tell me about that. Just poured some Tanager Batch 2. That was interesting that the Tanager Batch 2 didn't finish as well in Fred Minix as Tanager Batch 1. I honestly have not tried them side by side. If anybody's tried them side by side, put that in the comment. I'd be curious to see if the second one is better than the first one in your opinion. So let's talk about what we're going to give away on the Aged in Aura. Now, this is going to be a Patreon thing. We are going to include free patrons in this. Obviously, the better things will go to the paid patrons than the free patrons, but it's all good stuff with the Onyx or the Aged in Aura stuff. Okay, so just the things that I got too many of. Some of these are just mine to show you what they are, and some of these are actual things to give away. So first of all, I got an Aged in Aura neat glass. This actually just went in the newsletter. So we do our newsletter. Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet puts it together. She does Riddle in a Barrel, where she writes a riddle in the newsletter. You have to answer. If you answer, you get in for the drawing. And if you answer correctly, I will show you. Then we draw a name, and you win a prize. So, I lost my. There it is. Let's go back one. Boop. Okay, so right here, subscribe to the newsletter. You can actually subscribe to the newsletter. We send it out monthly. It's not super intrusive. It's just a few things that are going on. Sometimes some whiskey news. My current 3 favorite bottles. Sometimes there's new content included. It's what we did, what we're doing, and sometimes just to give you a little more insight on things. But one of you actually answered the riddle correctly, so we announced it in the newsletter that just went out a couple days ago or yesterday, the winner. But that's the first thing we gave away. That's gone. Okay. Obviously, you guys probably are familiar with. I'm trying to do too much right now. You guys are probably familiar with the flights, with the travel flights. I know some of you have these. If you don't have these, you got to get yourself one or win one. Obviously, a nice hard cased, very nice exterior, little hold pull tabs. I've taken these on planes. You cannot break them. They come with 4 little sample bottles on the inside, rubber covered. They're glass, so they're great for taking alcohol. We've taken these on vacation quite a bit. They come with a little pen, and you can write what's on the side of them. 4 sample bottles each. You can just about take a whole bottle of whiskey. We got one of those to give away. Very nice. That's not all. But wait, there's more. I actually got too many of these, so we're going to give one of these away. This is actually the 500 milliliter hand-blown glass decanter. These are actually something for the house, but for some of you that get into a bottle, really, really enjoy it, realize, holy crap, I can't buy another one of these again. I better slow down on this thing. You can transfer your glass bottles into these glass decanters with good seals, less airspace in them. That's why I got them, and then kind of slow down the air exposure to the smaller amount of whiskey. We're going to give one of those away. These are actually really, really nice, these hand-blown glass decanters. Like I said, rubber seal on the top, metal topper, really, really nice. And the kicker, the best thing we're giving right now, this isn't it because this one is mine. We do have a 4-bottle bottle carrier. If you don't have one of these, most of you probably do have one of these. If you don't have one of these are freaking awesome. I mean, the Aged in Aura bottle carriers, the bottom have a really thick pad on them and some thick dividers for the bottles. They're actually really well made. I've even got the 8-bottle one, and it's the handles are good enough. The stitching is really, really good. We're gonna give away one of those too. So we're gonna give all that stuff away in February. These are mine. We've got different colors for all of you, and I will be showing that and announcing what those colors are. We've got some cool stuff. We've got some custom color stuff. No whiskey bonded custom carriers yet, but we'll be giving away these things just to kind of show our appreciation for you as the patrons. Give your wallets a break in February. Give back a little bit. Something you don't have to pay for, and then go right back to hitting your wallets with the bottle drops in March. So what we have, I want a bottle carrier embroidered with the WB logo. We're gonna get there. Just for fun, you guys. You give you a chance to build back up your savings accounts and let a little money back in your wallet before we come back at you again with some more barrel drops. I do want to show you guys this. So as far as the single barrel drops go, I'm going to try and do 2 bottles a month. That being said, not next month. Here's what we got for next month as of right now. The reason why we're waiting, and maybe you guys can tell me this in the comment if you guys would rather us maybe slow roll 1 or 2 of these. Maybe we slow roll 1 or 2 of them and do it on a different month and do 2 a month. What's up, Tim? Mr. Burston. Yeah, everything Aged in Aura is really good quality, by the way. Okay, so single barrel drop page. If you haven't seen it, there it is. So drop day. I have not announced drop day yet. I'm going to change a couple of things for drop day, you guys. Very important. We're going to do drop day over 3 days this next time. There was some suggestions that every tier should get a whole day. I think that's a little bit much, but I like the idea in general. So this is how it's going to go this next time. Day one is going to be high proof and BIB members going to get 3 hours for the high proof and then BIB, and then we'll let that ride until day two. You'll get your small batch, your bonders, and your free tier in 3-hour increments, and then we'll let that ride. And then on day three, the public will get access to anything that's left. Last time we dropped, the rare character did not make it to the public. So if you're not a patron, please just keep that in mind. So what do we got coming for the drop? The next drop, we got our rare character collaboration with Sal at Liquor Lineup. Okay, that I'm gonna release the label on that here pretty soon, so you can see what the label is on that. That we picked. That's the SEG. Rye, absolutely fantastic that we picked with a bunch of the patrons at Liquor Lineup, and Sal said, hey, let's split it, and I thought it was a really cool idea, so we're doing that. While I'm in Vegas for the pick at the end of the month, we are going to be pouring, and I'll do an announcement on that. Our plan is to pour that pick at Sal's at some point while we're there. We'll see if we can get that to work out. We're working on that, okay? The Old Louisville 8-year single barrel will be in by then. Thanks to Steve. Appreciate that, Steve. It's basically a single barrel version of the Kentucky Series, 118.2 proof, the one we picked. Absolutely fantastic, reasonably priced. Really, really happy about that. This drop is going to have generally less expensive bottles. That rare character is going to be the most expensive bottle, and it should be under 100. So everything in this drop should be under 100. Okay, we got a Green River weeded full proof single barrel. That's going to be a banger. Those are always bangers. There's not a whole hell of a lot of those around each year. And the one that I added, we got confirmation today that will be in time, is our 7-year bottled and bond Heaven Hill single barrel selection. That's going to be an inexpensive bottle. We think the MSRP on that is going to be $65. So I wanted to bring you guys some less expensive stuff in the next drop. And then maybe we'll hammer you with some really expensive stuff in the next one. I don't know. And you see the little tile there about re-releases. I am going to do some re-releases of some previous. We did a little of that in the last drop, just a few bottles, as a just kind of a fun perk. We're gonna do re-releases with our barrel drops. Just for the ones that you didn't get, that maybe you wanted, maybe get another shot at it. Yeah, you guys, that Heaven Hill, I'm excited about that Heaven Hill and the Green River Weeder, because those are both going to be really reasonably priced bottles. We got a little bit of something for everybody this time, because the drops are going to be a couple of them right around 100, and a couple of them should be in that $60, $70 mark. So we're not going to hammer you guys so hard on the old wallet. There's also going to be pretty good availability. That rare character is going to go super fast. There's no way that makes it past the patrons. The other three should be available, although the yield on the Heaven Hill is actually surprisingly small. That was going to be under 100. So I was really surprised by that. Not going to get a whole lot of those. So that might not make it past the Patreon, depending upon how much the patrons want to snag that bad boy. Yeah, Steve, you're happy about the old Louisville, huh? Shocking. Why is that? Why are you happy about the... Yeah, that we're gonna see. We're gonna see what you guys think about. We're gonna see what you think about the label on that rare character. I will release it, like I said, before we do the drop. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually excited about that Green River pick. You guys know I love weeders, and cast strength weeder is right up my alley. Green River is doing some incredible stuff. It's going to be reasonably priced. I guarantee it's going to be delicious. And you get the little Green River game when you flick the coin underneath the bottom of the bottle. If you don't know, you got to ask. Look that up. Green River wheat pick. Yeah. Well, you're going to have an opportunity. Listen, if you're one of the people that watches this live, and if you're a patron, I mean, just knowing about it, just the fact that you're here, you're going to get a shot at that Green River. That's going to be around enough. When is the 2026 King of Kentucky? Yeah, come on now, Mike. King of Kentucky small batch. Yeah, well, you guys, I try to get everything, and I think you guys are probably, if you're paying attention, you probably noticed that I do get a lot of stuff. In fact, I do get a lot of stuff, but we tend to get things kind of late. If you hadn't already been paying attention, listen, shame on you guys. You guys need to make sure that you're checking the old new arrivals section in the shop on a regular basis, because we just drop stuff in there. I got the 12-year French oak barrel, but I just got it. There's the 2 Redwood Empires that you told you guys about, Garrison Brothers, Laguna Madre, and Cowboy. Those 2, we got special prices for patrons. If you're a patron and you're not aware, exclusive deals, whiskeybonded.com. there's your Patreon special deals with your discounted prices. We don't want to talk about that no more. I'll tell you guys to keep you guys from spending a lot of money right now. Anyway, yeah. So the Pipe Dream Toasted is not available yet, but I wanted to give you guys an idea what it was like. Kind of do a little taste right here on it. Talk about it a little bit so you guys can get an idea. This is only supposed to be my little birds tell me about a $60 bottle. So again, Redwood Empire is going to make a value out of this. I did shoot a review that I will post on this here at some point or another. I'm not super worried about being fast on it because you're not going to be able to get it for another couple weeks most likely. When are we going to get Wild Turkey 12-year back in stock? That is the most asked question that I get in the shop for real. Let's go, Brandon. That boy. The Wild Turkey 12-year, you guys, is one of our best-selling bottles, period. But it's a Japanese import, so it's not like we just really super easy. But I put in for some more. We will get it. I just don't really know when. So the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Toasted, it's important for you guys to know the differences. So Redwood Empire Pipe Dream, one of my favorites. I have rebought this bottle probably more than anything else. It is a 90 proofer. It's about a $30 or $35. The reason I like this so much is it is so easy to drink. It's so nice and sweet and light. And especially when I'm doing a lot of tasting of very complex, aged, like really bold bourbon, sometimes I just want to break. I don't know if you guys feel that way or not. Sometimes you don't want to drink a cast strength, high rye. Sometimes I just want to drink something that's sweet and easy. That's what this is. This is my Irish whiskey style bourbon. I really, really love it. It's so easy to drink. 4 to 15-year-old or 4 to 14-year-old distillate. So it's got some complexity to it. It is a low rye, relatively low rye mash bill. I really like it. What Redwood Empire did is they were doing some experimenting with Pipe Dream and aging Pipe Dream in secondary toasted barrels. Okay. And those toasted barrels are Gariana, French oak, and Hungarian. So they aged them in those things, took those products, tasted them, and decided to let Lauren go at it, and she blended them, and what you get is this. So it's the same. It's 5 to 15-year distillate now, re-aged in these barrels for between 6 and 12 months. And this is what you get. So we'll taste it for you real quick here. Gonna be a paid patron. All things on Bottle Bottle Shop is far better, even after shipping in Washington. Yeah, listen, if you, Daddy's working, if you live in Washington State, I don't understand why we don't sell 10 times what we sell just into Washington State. It makes no sense to buy liquor in Washington State when you can buy it on bottlebottleshop.com, not pay the taxes. Even with the shipping, you're still better off. If you buy one bottle, and pay for shipping, it's still cheaper than Washington. If you buy 2, forget about it. Get with Washington people, get with your friends that drink whiskey, put together a combined order, split the shipping up among 6 bottles. It's so much cheaper than Washington State. I don't understand. I don't understand. You guys, please tell somebody in Washington about buying a bottle shop for their own freaking good. I mean, you're 100%. It's ridiculous. Basil Hayden Toasted. Woo, this is better than Basil Hayden Toasted. Please, Tim. My God, how do I kick Tim out of the? No, just kidding. No, well, listen, Beefy. Yes, anytime that you can legally not pay taxes, you should legally not pay taxes. But I find that doesn't come along very often. So, the best way to describe this toasted. I've got my. I'm gonna cheat here. I actually have the notes that I made, but I'll give you the sense. I'll give you some of my tasting notes on it that I came up with when I was tasting. If you guys don't know already, when I do reviews, I'll actually sit and taste everything first before I shoot. I don't review and shoot at the same time. I'll taste it, spend a little time with it, make notes, go back at it, make a few notes, scratch some things off, come up with what I think, and then shoot the review. Just because I want to be able to give enough tasting details to give you an idea of what it tastes like, which is freaking hard to do, by the way. My paper's up in the window. That's very professional. I do not have the kind of palate where I can taste something and just fire off the tasting notes other than just the basic, simple ones. But if I taste something and give you guys the simple tasting notes for bourbon, it's going to be vanilla. It's going to be caramel. It's going to be oak and baking spices, maybe a stone fruit here and there. That doesn't really tell you what it tastes like. So what I'm trying to look for is some of the tasting notes that give you an idea of either how this is different than something else or how it's different than what you might expect or what direction it leans. You know, is it tobacco and leather and deep oak char, or is it like cherry and vanilla and pie crust? You know, it's like which way does it lean? Haven't had a tax refund for about 35 years. Listen, it doesn't matter if you get a refund or you pay your taxes. Ultimately, the end is the end. I try to tell my wife this. If you get a tax refund at the end of the year, they were holding your money for free, folks. They were holding your money for free, and you don't get any interest on that. Trust me, I do tell friends about Bottle Bottle Shop. I think people just don't like waiting, but after a certain point, to me, it's worth waiting. Patience is the key in this game, getting unique whiskey. Yeah, trust me, if I could do overnight shipping in a way that made sense, I would. So here's how I would describe Toasted. If you like, and this might be my favorite new pipe dream. I'm gonna have to taste through the different versions of pipe dream to see, but that'd be an interesting a long form video. Redwood Empire probably like that. If you like Redwood Empire pipe dream, what I'll tell you is how this is different than Redwood Empire pipe dream. Okay, by putting it into the toasted barrels and pulling the flavor influences out of the Hungarian and out of the French oak and out of the Gariana, which is an oak style from Oregon, is an oak tree out of the Oregon area, you get a lot more of the deeper, richer spice. You actually do get a little leather. You get a little bit of barrel char in this. The notes that I wrote in here, yeah, Redwood Empire Pipe Dream is like vanilla and honey and a light pecan note, right? Like really, really easy and nice. This gives you a sense of like caramelized or bruleed sugar or burnt caramel, like toasted caramel. Obviously, because of the barrel influence, it's the sweeter notes are creamier, so the vanilla is a little more pronounced and it's a little bit creamier and richer than the light, like vanilla ice cream vanilla. So it'd be the difference between like vanilla ice cream vanilla and like vanilla sticks or shavings vanilla. A little bit more earthy, a little bit more, a little deeper and richer rather than kind of this superficial, sweet and easy light of vanilla flavor. A lot more char and oak influence, but obviously there's sweet oak influences. The char is really, really subtle. I think bourbon drinkers are really going to like it. Because it's not like the char influence you get in this Joseph Magnus. It's not this long aging period, deep wood influence. It really is just kind of a subtle wood spiciness. It's got more spice. So the baking spices are a little bit more prickly, more rye, more white pepper. But it actually maintains that pretty approachable sense. So I would say if Redwood Empire Pipe Dream is like kind of in this nice sweet lane, you're adding a little more spice and a little bit more of the deep rich chars, a little more leather, a little more of those more age leaning flavor profiles that you might get in a slightly older bourbon. I like it a lot. I actually think it's really interesting. Still got everything I like in Pipe Dream, but with a little bit more complexity. It's definitely got more bite to it, more maturity to it. But even the depths of flavor on the sweet notes. You know, the vanilla is more pronounced. The honey is more pronounced, and it is like a toasted honey, I just want to say caramelized, like burnt caramel. It's really, really interesting. Actually is exactly what you would think it would be like if you took Pipe Dream and you triple oaked it. It's a 92 proofer, so it gets a tiny bump in proof. I actually kind of originally thought I would like it and it with a little more proof to it. Like it'd been more interesting if it was at 101 proof. But I think what they were going for here is retaining subtlety, retaining an easy, approachable feel to it, like you get in Pipe Dream. And if that was the case, if that's what they were trying to do, then that actually they nailed that, because the 101 has got a little bit more kick to it, a little more spice, not as rich, not as complex as this new Toasted is. Really, really good, really, really good. It's not aged Pipe Dream; it's rebarreled Pipe Dream. So they took Pipe Dream and put it in 3 different types of charred oak, and then blended them together into what we have here, and it's actually quite good. Yeah, proof is about the same. Instead of 90, it's 92. Yeah, drone technology. Boy, I missed something in the comments there. Oh, yeah, for an overnight delivery. Yeah, I would. Well, you think GLS has problems? Strap a bottle to the bottom of a drone, and we're gonna have enough. We get enough shipping and breakage problems. Let's see what else you guys got. Proof camera, it's age pipe dream turned up to 11. Yeah, it's you know it's funny because some of the flavors are definitely turned up to 11, but I would say if your flavor profile of pipe dream is like this narrow, subtle, sweet and easy, this just broadens that a little bit and gives you some more of the spiciness to it, the baking spices. It does turn up some of those notes in pipe dream that I like, and it also gives you broadens it out a little bit the other way and gives you some of those sense of aged like the leather and just a little more sense of maturity and complexity more to because what it does is I think by trip barreling these things, it gives you a sense of a whiskey that sat in a barrel longer, aging, which really isn't, it's still a blend of the same ages of general distillate. I think they did a good job. I think these are gonna Tim. I think these are gonna come in at around $60. So it's gonna come in between, well, right around 101. Here that would put it between 101 and cast strength. But I'm gonna blind these. I'm gonna blind these all at some point because I would be curious to do that for you guys as a ranking to kind of see. As much as I love Pipe Dream, it's a sentimental favorite for me, and I reach for it when I'm in a certain mood. This is better than Pipe Dream for sure. I think right off the cuff, it's better than 101. I will try it with the cast strength. I like the cast strength because I like the extra proof on the sweet and easy mash bill of the Pipe Dream. The cast strengths are like this one is a 116.8. So pretty cool though. Very cool to have the lineup. This is not going to be at this point. They're not planning on this being a regular offering all the time. And you may notice if you get a bottle of this, it actually says batch one. I asked Elliot if it was going to be a small lot series because the small lot series have batch numbers on it. He says no, it's not going to be part of the small lot series. This is another thing entirely on its own. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see Redwood Empire do some interesting relabelings with some of the white labels, variation on the label with a finishing or of different kinds. They're going to be doing a lot of experimenting. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm here for it, especially if they try to keep the prices low, which it seems like they're going to do. If you continue to be able to get everything except for Haystack from Redwood Empire under $100, I think that's going to be a winning formula for them in general. Trying to keep track of what all is going on here. So welcome to the new patrons. Those of you that have joined the Patreon lately, we actually did get a little rash of patron members joining recently. So, wow. So what do you guys got? What do you guys got going? What are you guys drinking right now? What do you guys think about? How many of you have tried our picks? I mean, give me some feedback. I mean, I'd love to know what you guys think about the Magnus pick, the Onyx and Amber pick, the Redwood Empire pick, the Rare Character pick. Very, very cool that the Redwood Empire, the Onyx and Amber, and the Rare Characters all sold out, and the Chicken Cock is getting very, very close to selling out. I set a bar. So when I say selling out with the Redwood Empire and the Chicken Cock, I actually did a bigger reserve than I normally do. Usually I reserve about 10% of the inventory just in case for things that break and get lost because that happens. Things break and get lost. And I want to be able to get you the bottle back. We've done it in the past where we sold them all and then somebody didn't get a bottle because it got lost in the shipping. And they're like, well, I just want a replacement and we can't do it. And I don't want to do that. Paragon. Oh, Southern Star. So I will tell you guys that we've got some samples coming to potentially do a Southern Star single barrel. I'm excited to try that. I've also got them sending me the weeded cast strength. So I got the high rye cast strength. It's actually quite surprised. The Paragon high rye cast strength, the Southern Star Paragon high rye bourbon is actually really, really delicious. And the wheat is good too. They're sending me the new wheat cast strength to see how that is. And these single barrels, I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, sipping on Old Forester 1924. Have I had the new one? I have not had the new one yet. I'm a big fan of the 1924 for sure. I like it. It's very expensive, I think. That's a tough one for me. I like the 10-year age stated, but 1920. My problem is if I put it up against 1920, is it subjectively better? Yes. Am I going to reach for it over the 1920? Some of the time. But the 1920 is half the price, so it just doesn't. If the two of them are sitting on the shelf and I can only get one, 1920 is going to be the one I'm going to reach for. 1924 is better, but twice as good. It's really hard to justify. Still waiting on my Magnus. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about the Magnus. I don't know if I'm on an island on this one and thinking that this might actually be one of the best whiskeys that I had for I guess last year, because well, not be this year. It'll be the best whiskey I've had in 2026 so far. I'll tell you that much. Mine are still in on a truck in route. Yeah, you guys were getting them out. The order because the drop was on the 28th. Obviously, they all come in at the same time, so they're trying to get them out. They got them mostly out. If you guys have a problem in your orders getting delayed, please let me know. If you bought on the 28th, right now it should be on its way to you. Paragon cast strength is comparable to Weller 107. Okay, I can see that. I'll try that. I love this question. Big Tacos, thoughts on the new bourbon labels, Bardstown labels? Listen, I'll tell you what. I did a video on this, but I will do a spoiler for you guys since there's only a few of you in here. Let's address this because there was so much response to the video that I posted, and I did an out with the old, in with the new video. And because, we want to support Bardstown, and I think it's exciting that they're trying to make a change. Bardstown is never afraid to innovate or change things. I get why they did the label, but I will tell you how I really feel about this. Okay. There are things that I like and do not like about the new label. Okay. And ultimately, what I want to say to you is because there was some comments about people saying, well, all the creators are shilling for Bardstown. Suck a fat one. It's not about that. If it's the only thing that really matters is the whiskey inside of these bottles is still really, really good and is still really, really reasonably priced. I don't care if they put a piece of duct tape on the front that tells me what it is. Ultimately, because I don't get these sent to me. I buy these and I drink these. I like them a lot. Now, I do like and get the idea of what they were doing and trying to make it more obvious as to what this is. Because when the Bardstown bottles are all lined up next to each other, unless you know exactly what you're looking at and you're very familiar, it's difficult to tell what this is. The Bottled and Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey is very small at the bottom. If you don't know what the colors are, the high wheat and it gets kind of lost. It gets kind of lost, right? So being able to see Bottled and Bond on this, I get it. I get why they did that. Fine. What I don't love about it is they actually removed, I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, they removed the words Origin Series. So I don't know if they're not calling this Origin Series anymore. And I think the Origin Series is one of the strongest things that Bardstown has got going because of the price point, quality, and variety. I don't like that they removed the Origin Series. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. I mean, obviously they know better than I do, so I'm not gonna talk too much crap because they're Bardstown and I'm just me. We'll go back and forth. I do like that they also kept the disclosure. Somebody asked me this question. On the disclosure on the side of the Origin bottle, it does give you the origin, the age, and the mash bill. They still have that. So you still get the origin, the age, and the mash bill, which I think is really, really important. I'm glad they didn't take that off of there. I knew they weren't going to, because that's one of the strengths of Bardstown. They did drop the distilled. On the old bottles, there is a distilled fall of 2016. They dropped that, so that's not on there. Not super important. I don't really know if I care about that too much, but it is interesting because this has a handwritten feel on it. So these labels this label looks a little bit more quality, fancy than this one does. The Bardstown logo is also different. I don't know if you guys noticed that. The Bardstown logo right down here in the corner of this one is a different logo than this. It's not smaller, it's different. So I don't know if they're going with a rebranding of the logo. What they basically did is they took it was the B inside of the barrel, and now it's the barrel inside of the B. I don't know. And I'll tell you what the thing I like least about this new label. Okay. I mean, Bardstown did something right because everybody is talking about this right now. Look, yeah, Sean said worst relabeling ever. I will tell you what I do not like that they did. I'm really disappointed. I got to call somebody over at Bardstown to find out what's up with the new label, the new logo. It's very different, and it's a little bit hard to figure out what it is. On the back of the old bottle of Origin, they did these shadows, and I don't know if you can probably see that. They did the shadow like this is a tree, okay? The rye is rye, obviously. All right? The wheat is wheat. And this one is corn. The white label's corn. Okay? I think that is freaking cool. I love that it does that because when you look through the bottle, it gives depth. So there's a label on the front and there's the logo on the back. Now I'm sure that this raises the cost, and that's probably the reason why. But the new bottle does not have that. There's nothing on the back of that. That makes me sad. I hate that. That's the only thing I really I don't really. This is I get this. This kind of makes sense. Whatever. But the fact that they got rid of the shadow tree, the shadow rye, the shadow wheat on the back that makes me sad. I don't like that. So there's my thought. Spoiler alert. You guys when you guys see the video drop, that's basically what I said about it. But yeah, they're trying to make a Bardstown rainbow. Huh? Maybe looks like Walmart whiskey to me. Not feeling it, sadly, dude. I put it. Listen, I put. Gotta not talk when I'm faced with the microphone. Clang, clang, clang. I actually put a survey up on Instagram in a story and asked who liked it, didn't. It was almost 80% did not like the change. So I don't. It feels like a miss, but whiskey drinkers are going to pick the whiskey. Those of us that know are going to pick the whiskey based on what you get for your money and the drinking experience. The origin, whatever they're going to call them now, is still worth the money. And it could bring in some new whiskey drinkers to grab the Bardstown when they may not have before because of the clarity on the labels. But I don't know. That'll remain to be seen. Will remain to be seen. If this is going to be a Cracker Barrel moment or if they're ultimately going to be right. But Bardstown doesn't miss on much of anything. So I will be surprised if this ends up being a giant miss for them for the first time that I can think of. If you can think of something where they really missed on something, put it in the comments for please. I'm bullish on the relabel. I'm for anything that will get better whiskey into more hands, and this definitely falls in that category. Also, I really like the change from the tan to the teal. Okay, you must be talking about the weeder, the high weeder. I've not seen that. I've not seen that yet, other than pictures. Looks like the same folks that did the Cracker Barrel marketing worked on this. Bourbon Doctor. That was a debacle. You want to talk about a debacle? I don't know what they were thinking there at all. A little different is because at least with Bardstown, we know that Bardstown as a theme are not afraid to experiment, to change, to go, to do, to there's will go anywhere. I think is the new commercial. There's another thing. You guys notice all the whiskey commercials on TV all of a sudden? Never saw that before. There's a little sign of the changing times. Oh, Fox, I'll keep my old bottle and refill it. Might be collector's items. Cabster, can't wait for the Onyx Amber Gobstopper Redwood Rare Character First Flights and the Southern Star Paragon. Those are all good ones, man. Those are all good ones. I really like that new the new Gobstopper. What's the new logo? Here, hold on. Let me see if I can't do this in short order. This is gonna be here, let's see. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. They actually changed it a little bit. So let's see, Bardstown logo. Okay, so right now here, I'll show you this. Let's. This is just an impromptu moment here, just because you asked, and I'm not smart enough to not do it. So this is the old Bardstown logo. So you guys can see it's a bee inside of a barrel, which makes perfect sense to me, right? Let's see if we can get the new one up here. So the new Bardstown logo is this. It's the barrel inside of a bee. And you can see the old one and the new one side by side. The new one, the old one is a little bit clearer as to what you're looking at with the barrel inside of the bee, I think. The new one, I mean, I see it. I definitely see the bee and the barrel, but it's not as obvious. I mean, it's whatever. It's a pick 'em on that one. But I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be, I don't really love that either. But there you go. There's the new logo. And that is on the bottles. The new bottle design has got that logo on the top of the cap and on the label itself. The whiskey, yeah, see, just, Devin, the whiskey is still great. That's ultimately the bottom line, and why all this is a topic of discussion. It doesn't really freaking matter. I mean, who cares? Old Forester single barrel someday. I'd love to do an Old Forester single barrel. Yes, rye preferably, but yeah, of course, we will do an Old Forester single barrel someday. We've got it. We're doing Jack Daniels in May. You pay attention to the Patreon. We're doing Jack Daniels in May and Old Glory. I can't wait for the Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is going to be the barrel pick that everybody's going to want to come to. We're not going to have a whole lot of space. We're going to have to draw names, obviously, but that's going to be one that I've heard is quite the experience. I've not done it yet, and I'm looking forward to that. If they miss this badly on the labels, I'm worried about the whiskey quality going forward. DC, I don't think that's going to be a problem, man. They haven't had any major changes over there as far as who's making those decisions, and I can't think of the last bottle that Bardstown like actually missed on. You know, you can. Some are better than others, but I don't even remember the last time I tasted a bottle of Bardstown that was a miss. Gives Pursuit United vibes. It does give a little. It does give Pursuit a little Pursuit vibes. Good. I like the new logo. Iron Fox. The Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Triple Finish sounds amazing too. Those notes are right up my palate. It's actually really, really good. I'm quite happy with it. I mean, who you talking to? But yeah, I like it. Looks too corporate. I call dibs. There's no dibs system, people. There's no dibs. I'm laughing because that was a topic of conversation today. Is the new dib system for single barrels. So, you guys, in general, single barrels are going to be limited. Any one pick is going to be limited to about 6 or 7 people. There are some exceptions to that, but that kind of seems to be the way that it's going. So for the rare character, it's going to be a little less. Still Austin, we're going to be right there. And for the other picks, for the Pursuit, for the Wild Turkey, for Jack Daniels, for Wilderness Trail, for Old Glory, it's going to be about what it's going to be, and that's the reason why we got to do the draws, you guys. Unfortunately, silver for Tim. You have to retype that. Tim's been drinking too much. Silver. There you go. Silver for bourbon. You know, I don't have the picture. Let's I don't even know. It's like I call it the Origin series, but I don't. Is it the Origin series anymore? I mean, do we have a new picture? I don't even have it. It's so funny. I don't even have a picture of it. Maybe hang on to those old bottles. Everybody keeps talking about the colors. You know, it's funny. I'm searching it on the internet, and it's not coming up with the new logos. That's interesting. I even took out the word Origin. There it is. So white, black, green, and light blue for the high wheat. Here, let me show. Boop. There you go. So white is still white, black is still black, green is an odd washed out green. I like the dark green that they had in the other one. And then your cream beige color goes to blue. Okay. Not sure what blue's got to do with wheat, but you can see that those are easily going to be recognizable as what they are, and I think that's the point. I think that's why they're doing that. I have the sample pick. Yeah, we actually, the sample pack from Bardstown was one of the first things that we gave away. We did a tasting with Jazz at Bardstown, and we gave away those sample packs. It was one of the very first Patreon perks. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, Wild Turkey and Pursuit are going to be fun picks. I can't wait for the Old Granddad 114 single barrel to come out. Same. I'm excited about that one too. That would be cool. I'd love to do one of those. I want to do everything single barrel. We just got to keep it kind of at a reasonable pace, because I can't expect you guys to. I'm not going to pick 50 single barrels this year. I don't want, that's too much, and you guys aren't. I'm not going to ask you guys to buy 50 single barrels. I don't normally avoid things that may have someone I might disagree with, but I skip Green River and Bardstown. But no judgment on others. I just have so many others to try, and easy filter for me. That's interesting. Modern Time Paladin that you skip over. Not too many people are going to say that. You skip over Green River and Bardstown. They're making a lot of stuff. In fact, a lot of the stuff that you're drinking that is non-distilling producers is either being being bottled as Bardstown distillate being bottled, or Bardstown is contract distilling. They are becoming the MGP of Kentucky for sure. You guys, you're breaking. What's hitting a market? That's hitting a market for those who thinks it's too fancy. Missing it. Mr. Beefy still has his. How's Redwood Toasted? It's actually very good. If you're a Redwood Empire fan, it'll definitely be worth one picking up. I will tell you, I wouldn't like lose your mind. But if you get an opportunity to buy one, definitely buy one. They're going to be on the shelves if you got a store locally. This is the way I've been told. If you have a store locally that does a lot of Redwood Empire, like here in California, Rayleigh's does a lot of Redwood Empire. That's where I would check for these. They're going to start landing in early March, is what I was told, and they're going to be priced right around $60. Is what I kind of was able to squeeze out of them. But if you don't listen, if the label is really really dope. If you don't get a chance to get it, they're going to do a distillery only version, which I've been asked to not talk about too much. It's up on my shelf. You'd be able to get at Redwood Empire if you're in the area, but like I said, if you get a chance to buy it, buy it. If you're not, don't lose your mind. They're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff. And if you've had Redwood Empire 101, no, Pipe Dream 101, regular Pipe Dream, and Pipe Dream Cast Strength, you can kind of guess what it's going to taste like. But it's delicious. I do like it. The Redwood Empire Cast Strengths, actually, this one isn't open yet. I really like. I haven't drank these in a little while. Yeah, we'll just do it. The Redwood Empire cast strings are actually really, really good, and it's funny. When I was a video on YouTube I did where I tested 10 Redwood Empire offerings all together in a blind, and the cast strength rye, actually, not this one, that one, this one actually won. And ironically, I have the most drink out of that. I got some HK Young Toasted bottles made with the Bardstown juice. It is amazing. Pipe Dream is so good. I love the 101 most. I've actually drank a lot of that 101. In fact, based on bottle level, I love the 101 most too. No, the 101 is a sweet spot, man. Price point, drinking experience, it really is fantastic. But the cast drinks, right now, the cast drinks are the slowest moving bottles that Redwood Empire has. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous because they're so good. They're just the standard versions turned up. And I think the only reason they don't sell better is because the standard versions are so good and so cheap. Is the guy's back facing with hands cupped? Oh, on the label. Yeah. So I don't hear. We'll see if you guys can see this. So yeah, you guys will see more and more pictures of this. Obviously, I'll continue to talk about it. But it is the Pipe Dream logo, the kind of John Muir themed, but he's facing away from the viewer and has got his hands clasped behind his back. I can't tell if you guys can see that in the camera or not. I didn't set up my bottle camera today. So it's actually very cool. The logo, as always, is absolutely dope. It's obviously got depiction of fire and toasted. So it just, the logo, the label is spot on. Absolutely spot on. But like always, they're really fantastic at their packaging and imagery and storytelling and all that stuff. Was I crazy for not buying a haystack needle single barrel for $150? So $150 is a little bit expensive, Fox. In fact, we've got a couple of rye haystacks in the shop right now for $135. We sold our single barrel for $120. Now I have to look it up because I forgot what we sold them for. $125. So $150 is a little bit expensive, but it's not uncommon to see them going for that. But we're gonna re-release. I'm gonna re-release our high rye bourbon probably next month. But you can get the ryes in the shop right now. There's about 6 bottles each, not a ton, but we put them up in there. It's a cool bench shirt. I always wanted to try their blend. I love my bench shirt. I actually had a dude stop me in a store today and ask me if I was from Texas. I'm like, dude, it's just a t-shirt, bro. What if I was wearing like a Mars t-shirt? When he asked me the same question, it's really weird. Sorry. So we actually had, it's funny that you say something about Bent. We actually had a really good relationship with Bent. But the rep from Bent left and went to Still Austin. I will tell you, I like Bent's stuff. And I think, relationship aside, I think the stuff that Bent makes is actually very good for the price point. They don't get talked about a hell of a lot. Their straight malt is super interesting, and I like it a lot. We've actually got a straight malt single barrel coming to the shop through Kitsap Whiskey Society that's actually absolutely going to be worth buying if you like the straight malt. Bent's cask strength stuff is wild. It's so freaking good. I got a bunch of the bourbon, the rye, the wheat, and the straight malt in cask strength that we bottled right out of the barrel, and those are unbelievably good, and they're only like $85. If Bent released their out of the barrel stuff at $85, everybody would know who they are. They just refuse to do it for some reason. You can only get it at the distillery. But if you are ever in the Fort Worth area and can go to Bent and bottle your own, freaking do it. Because you can get hazmat straight malt, hazmat rye, hazmat bourbon, and some pretty freaking high proof weeders that are incredible. We had them up to 146 or 100 and something crazy, and they're really, really fantastic. You don't give off California vibes, man. Thank you, man. I'll take that as a compliment. Yes, Raleigh. If you know Raleigh, Raleigh Hughes is the friend to Whiskey Bond, Raleigh Hughes. I'm not ignoring you. It's just a lot to look at the freaking. I got 5 fucking screens here. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? You drop the F-bomb? My liquor store in Iowa family got Still Austin in a couple of days ago. Still Austin is getting better and better distribution. And I was talking, they're going to do more. They're going to pump up their distillation, but it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time. But if you get an opportunity to try Still Austin, all their stuff is worth trying. I can tell you that their cask strength bourbon and rye are where you really start to appreciate them, and any of their bottled and bond series. The base rye and the base bourbon are good for the price, but when you get into the cask strength stuff and into the bottled and bond stuff, that's where you're really going to be quite surprised at what they can do. They really do have some awesome stuff. I don't have those here. I've only got some special labels behind me here, but I've got all the Still Austin stuff. Big fan of Still Austin. I definitely am excited about going down and doing that pick next month. So you guys, if you're patrons, please get on the damn Patreon and fill out the response surveys for Kentucky, for Texas, and for Vegas. I'm going to demonetized. Michael, this is an adult channel. I can say whatever the hell I want. I didn't turn on the monetization for this live anyway. You're welcome. I'm going to turn it off because y'all are a bunch of whiny little bitches about the commercials. And I'm not going to make much money on it anyways. Might as well save you the trouble. So I'm going to draw for the Las Vegas for who's going to get to go to Las Vegas tomorrow. So if you didn't respond to the email, I'm sorry, buddies. So we're going to draw for that tomorrow. I will draw for the Texas thing pretty quick here because we're a month out. I want you guys to be able to plan your travel. So we'll do that pretty quick, but make sure if you're a patron, you're on there. And if you're not a patron, get on the damn Patreon. Go to the post, fill out the response survey, and maybe you can go with us and pick at Wild Turkey. I'm really hoping Bruce Russell's going to be there. And if you don't become a patron and you don't get in there and you don't go to Wild Turkey and you don't get to pick with Bruce Russell, which is one of the coolest freaking things you could do with whiskey, that's not my fault. That's not my fault. Went hunting after dinner tonight, found a couple of the older paper label Knob Creek sitting on a shelf collecting dust. That is one of the coolest things is finding an old Dusty. Paul, if you need anything from Still Austin, happy to pick it up and ship it over to you. I'm local. Thank you. I appreciate the offer. I've been told the Still Austin gin is also incredible. It is actually. I don't talk about it much because there's not a lot of gin drinkers in here, or they don't talk about it much. I actually really like their gin. We actually got a bottle of that and brought it back. My wife and I are big gin fans. I really enjoy gin that's done really, really well, and there's some really good gin. If you've not had much experience with gin and all you've had is Tanqueray or Bombay, you're really missing out. It's just like whiskey. If all you've had is Jack 7, you're missing out. If all you've had is Tanqueray, you're missing out. Yeah. Hey, I sent you $1, man. Tim, I know I'm hanging on to that. If you send me $1 every year for my birthday in about 50 years, I'll be able to buy you something and send it back to you. I will do that. Mark my words. It's recorded for posterity forever. I do love whining. Yeah, we all do. Been more excited to find older label bottles lately. Yeah, you guys. It's funny because one of the things that's changing with the bourbon market and bourbon drinkers is people are being a little more thoughtful on what they buy, and they're looking for things that are a little more special. And I think that's one of the things that's a little more special is when you find one of those old dusty labels or an out of print label or something. It's fun to find those because you're not going to get a shot to do it again. It's still interesting. Tennessee in May. Yes. So Vegas in February, Texas in March, Kentucky in April, Tennessee in May. We are not playing around this year, people. We're not playing around. Hook me up with this month's Nancy's pick. Uh-oh. I actually was talking to Raleigh today, and the Order of Nancy is so popular. I don't think they're going to put a whole lot of new people in that for some time because it's gotten big. It's gotten big. But the Order of Nancy, I don't buy all the Order of Nancy picks either. I've gotten some, but Going to have to bring you some JT Melik vodka. I've heard the JT Melik vodka is really, really good. You're like the fourth person that's told me that fairly recently. I'm a big fan of Melik, and I want to go down there. We were actually hitting them up to do a single barrel, and they're not doing them right now, but I would love to do a JT Melik single barrel. You can put that down the books of things that we're going to get done, because their single barrels, if you never had them, I've got a couple of the single barrels. Those are freaking good. Those are really good. What's up, Henry Hickey? A Weller Rainbow is raining down in Colorado. You're going to see more of that. I've heard more people pick up the CYPB. I haven't seen the single barrel much lately. I don't care about the Weller Rainbow. I don't have a single barrel. I don't have a CYPB. I will probably not buy a lot of Weller going forward. I do like a 107. I'll buy those when I see them for the right price. And Special Reserve. I'm sorry, Special Reserve is still one of the ones that sometimes I like to drink on an ice cube. It's kind of like a pipe dream. Sometimes I don't want to drink something super punchy, but I just want a little something like a little treat. A little Special Reserve on a single ice cube. I still like it, man. For me, it's Jameson and Special Reserve. They're not super special. Special Reserve. That's funny. But on ice, I still like them. I still got a soft spot for them, just like a regular ass Makers. It's important to stay grounded, people. You got to remember where you come from. Just because you got expensive ass bottles of old whiskey doesn't mean you shouldn't appreciate the stuff you started with. Keep you from getting too bougie. Yeah, I'm not seeing much 107 there, Joe. Seeing some 12-year, seeing some full proof. 107 has still been pretty scarce for some reason. I don't know why. I did get a single barrel. I always have a 107. That's one of the ones I don't ever want to run out of, but I don't stockpile them. I just try to make sure I stay ahead of it a little bit. Clemens Joey. They also had some 2009 Twice Barrel limited edition Knob Creek cast strength rye for $100. Might have to go back and make an offer. Yeah, you guys make those offers. Some of those liquor store owners will negotiate with you. Gil hooked us up recently when a few of us went into his store. Tons of Weller out there. Okay. Jameson is all reliable. Listen, Big Tacos, I will tell you right now, if I go into a bar and they have a shitty whiskey selection, you can get Makers on the ice, you can get Jameson on ice, always. Every freaking bar on the planet has Jameson and Makers, and I'll drink either one of those with a little bit of ice. Doesn't matter. And they're cheap. That's usually your freaking $8 cocktail. I mean, can you call it a cocktail? Your $8 pour. Old Forester 100 pick, that would be cool. I would do that. I would do an Old Forester 100 pick. Those are really, really good, and the price points are more reasonable. Special Reserve is my favorite, the first one to start me on my bourbon journey. It's funny that you say that, Joe, Unfiltered. Not where I started my bourbon journey, but one of the ones that I remember, we were at a steakhouse one time, and ironically, my wife and I are sitting, but early on, my wife and I are sitting at a bar at a steakhouse, and we're just having a happy hour, and a representative of Opus One, the winery. So one of the fancy wineries, if you're not familiar, they can be very, very expensive wines from here in Northern California. The representative is in the bar, and he is buying every appetizer in the place. He's schmoozing with the manager. He's schmoozing with the liquor owner, and we start talking to him a little bit. And of course, he pours us some incredible wine, just incredible wine. And he's like, "Hey, you a whiskey drinker?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know, at the time, I had not a lot of whiskey experience, but I knew I liked whiskey. And he actually got me a pour of Special Reserve on ice. It was on a single ice cube. It was the first time I'd had it. And something about that place being in the steakhouse, and this guy just being like one of those guys that's like super, super welcoming, super fun, super, super nice, very generous. And sipping on that Weller, it just locked it into my brain. It's nostalgic still. I drink it. I still love it when I drink it on ice, and it kind of takes me back to that. It still feels fancy for some reason. I think it's funny that Weller Special Reserve feels fancy to me, but it's because where I had it the first time and who I had it with, that it just kind of, I don't know, it just gives me that freaking a steakhouse vibe. Yeah, Opus One. He actually is so funny. He actually poured a bottle of Opus One that when we looked it up after the fact, it's like over $1,000. Most expensive wine that I've had. It was actually really, really amazing. Really, really amazing. I'm not going to recommend it because that's crazy to spend that kind of money on a bottle of wine. But if you got it, if you have the means. I keep seeing the Whiskey Bonded t-shirts. Where can I find those? You know, Beers, Boards, and Beards, 1268. You can get them on whiskeybondedshop.com. Easier than that, you can go to whiskeybonded.com. Listen, I made this for you guys. Well, kind of for you guys. I made it because it was easier because a lot of people ask dumbass questions. WhiskeyBonded.com has got everything. Patreon, Bonded Bottle Shop, WB Swag Shop. The Swag Shop, that's where our t-shirts are. Single barrels, newsletter, podcast. Booyah. There's a little blank here. I don't know what I'm going to do with that blank, but we're going to put something there. At some point, I'll put something there. But there you go. Beers, boards, and beards. There you go. There's where you can find the t-shirts. Kenny. One of the special reserves, a bottle I used to get my cousins into whiskey when they went through a few bottles. Yeah, it's a very approachable whiskey for sure. And I think personally putting on ice takes away the very small amount of kind of, I don't want to say bitter, but there's a slight amount of that. I think it maybe comes from youth, but there's a slight amount of that in there, kind of a yeasty bitterness. If you put it on ice, it goes away, and it just is nothing but sweet and easy. It's really, really nice. Yeah, so Tom, that's how it works. Some of our favorites are tied to a memory. I know for me, they really are. A lot of them are. Will you be selling Wild Turkey 12 again? Yes. Yeah, Frank, we're just waiting for it to come back in again. It may take a minute because it comes from a long ways away. Those are actually Japanese bottles. If you got one of the Wild Turkey 12s from Bonna Bottle Shop, you notice it's got Japanese writing on it. So that's a Japanese offering. You cannot get those here. The blank spot should have been a picture of Kenny Claus. We can do that. Don't joke. You know how I roll. That might happen. So you're bringing whiskey bonded shirts for us to wear at the Barrel Pick meetup? Squirrel, if you want a whiskey bonded shirt to wear at the Barrel Pick meetup, you better get on ordering one. We don't make jack on those. If when we give them away, I eat up any money that we'd made on them. So, not the shrewdest businessman sometimes. It should be good for 1,000, like the Mixture 20s. Oh, yikes! Yeah, $1,000 a bottle. It should be really amazing. Mixture 20 is an amazing bottle of whiskey. I will tell you that. I'm not gonna buy one. I mean, it's a lot of money. Yeah, no need to bring shirts. They ship right to your door. Thanks, Slotman. You guys are like the best sales representatives. Clemens Joey saw a Facebook post a few minutes ago with cases of Weller at MSRP. Tons of A107 for $61 on special reserve. No 12 or foolproof in the pick. So glad to see prices coming back down. Clemens Joey, where are you at? Like, what part of the country are you in that you saw that at? Have you heard a reason why the Wild Turkey 12 years Japanese only? You know what? There's not a good reason other than it sells really well there. I've heard speculation that they're thinking about bringing the Wild Turkey 12 back to the U.S. And if I'm a betting man, maybe we'll get Bruce to fess that up if we see him. If I'm a betting man, you might see Wild Turkey 12 year come back to the United States because of the whole whiskey glut, because there's so much of it out there. I've noticed the Wild Turkey 8 year has become really widely available like it was supposed to. Well, think about it. If you start getting more and more 8 year distillate and it keeps selling at the same pace, and that 8 year sits long enough that it becomes 9 year because they're not bottling enough of it, and then it sits longer to become 10 year, you can see it wouldn't take long for it to become a 12 year. So we might see a Wild Turkey 10 or a Wild Turkey 12 year back in the United States at some point. I'll have to wear a Bruzel one then. Dude, please do. Hey, Squirrel, if you wear a Bruzel shirt to our pick, I will take a picture with you and I will text it to TJ. Just because you did it. My first craft was Ben Holiday. Soft red wheat Rick House ruined my taste buds. Yeah, the Rick House strengths of Ben Holiday. I haven't had those in a long time. I need to revisit that one. Those are so good. Have you seen the new Redwood tubes? Brian, who you talking to, brother? Oh, yeah. Look at, can you see him? Can you see him back there? Oh, my microphone stands in the way. Yeah, we've got both the Redwood Empire. You guys, I'm the biggest Redwood Empire tater on the planet. Luckily, they love me too, because it makes it a little easier for me. But yeah, I got the Redwood tubes, I got the posters, and I got the t-shirts. Not wearing it right now. If I knew I was going to talk so much about Redwood today, I'd have worn my t-shirt. But they're going to do different ones of these every year. That's going to be a problem for me. I always grab the first editions of anything that they do, and I've got all the first editions of everything. I don't know if I'm going to buy these every single year. Collect tater tubes? I mean, I might have to object to that. That's a lot to ask. Don't you get a shirt as a paid Patreon gift? Slotman, you do. You do. We are about 2 weeks behind on that. We do them quarterly. So we're actually going to discontinue, you guys. So we're going to discontinue moving forward the free t-shirts, not because we don't want to do the free t-shirts. It's just been too much of a pain in the ass to keep track of. So we're going to do some kind of a commiserate, like a similar value discount code of some kind that you can use on the shop or on the bottle shop. It's just gonna be a little easier to keep track of. We're gonna try and automate it. I'm trying to automate more this year. You guys don't understand. When we had 100 patrons, it's easy to keep up on the free T-shirts. When we have 1,200 patrons, it's getting really difficult. So we're gonna have to figure out ways to make this simpler. But yeah, if you Cam, if you think I missed you, just message me and I'll look it up and see. Love the shorts you've been doing. Keep them coming. Thank you, Astro. Appreciate it, man. We're not gonna stop doing shorts. You will see me do more long form content in 2026 by quite a bit, but I'm not gonna stop doing the shorts. They're fun. I like them. The shorts are going to continue to be kind of light and silly and goofy like I like to do, and the long form videos are going to be a little more serious for a little more serious whiskey drinkers. We are going to shoot our second whiskey vaults tomorrow, so you'll see that posting in probably a week or two. That's going to be an ongoing series as long as I can find. Listen, if you guys know somebody who's got a really great whiskey collection, they'd be willing to share that. Let me film it. Obviously, I'm not going to disclose who they are or where they live at, but film the whiskey collection. Please get them in touch with me. You can send it to inquire@whiskeybonded.com. I'm going to need, or we want to do a bunch of those this year. Oh, they're doing a Redwood Empire tasting at my bottle shop tomorrow, and they are going to ask about the toasted. Is it out full? No. So Rocksteady Yeti, depending on who's doing your tasting, definitely ask about the toasted. It's not fully out yet, but they may have a bottle. They may have a bottle. Because I know that the reps have them. I mean, clearly I have one, so the reps have them. Oh, slot man. Okay, well, forget it. Let's hire an intern. Tim, I'm not hiring you as an intern. It's not remote work. You'd have to come to the office every day. And I know you're not going to do that. It's not really your speed. And you would not be allowed to smoke weed at work. I'm sorry. Popping corks and telling jokes. Yeah, Squirrel, thank you, buddy. I just got a couple of new ones of those coming too. Those are just fun for me. I just like to be silly. Part of the thing is with this whole whiskey thing is there's plenty of serious conversation we can have. I like to keep it light. So we can talk serious, but I also don't want to get too serious. Jeff Duckhorn is one of the nicest guys in whiskey. I would drink Redwood simply because of him. Plus, I love the story of how he became the master distiller. Just awesome. Yeah, he comes from a very famous wine family too. Yeah, very, very cool people. Him and Lauren are both awesome. They really do make you feel welcome too. I grabbed the Onyx Amber Everlasting Gobstopper. It's amazing. Larissa, so glad. Two things. Larissa Stevens, one of the ladies of Whiskey Bonded. Unless that's a different combination. Your name's not actually Larissa or you're not actually a girl. The ladies in the Whiskey Bonded family are much appreciated because, unfortunately, whiskey is still very male-dominated. So we appreciate the ladies of the Whiskey Bonded family that are around. So I need to do anything for the Patreon t-shirt. Gordon, we're doing it based on the time you've been in and your tier. If you think you're due, please email me. We go through and audit them and send emails to everybody. And like I said, we're due to do that again. But yeah, do that because we're gonna cut that off going in the future, going forward, and come up with a different program. Rocksteady 80 is one of the owners. Oh well, then probably. I'm down for the whiskey vault. Steve, I'll take you up on that. Can we drink at the office? You can definitely drink at the office. We definitely drink in the office at Whiskey Bonded Media, which is the name of our company. There's definitely drinking, sometimes heavily. I'm headed to Vegas at the end of the month. Oh, Tim, we'll be around. Maybe we'll see you. Second vault recording. I won't be home for you to film. Where are you going? Not to your house, buddy. Not to your house. We could do that, though. Sorry, Tim. Big Daddy, what's going on? Not 420 friendly in Cali. Yeah, it's funny. In California, obviously weed for recreational purposes is legal here, so there's freaking weed everywhere. But businesses can still say that their employees can't do it at work. Just like you can't drink at work, people. It's not that hard to figure out. Alcohol's legal. You can't drink at work unless you work for me. Same with weed. Yeah, I actually got no, I won't talk about that. I get in trouble with that. Apologies if you already said this, but thoughts on Haystack Needle, are they worth 120? Yes. So Whiskey Habit, just be sure that you're aware that the Haystacks are single barrels, so they're all a little different. But at this point, I've probably tasted a dozen different ones, and they're all good. And $120, you get there real quick on a lot of whiskeys now. Oh, Gordon, okay. Depending on when you joined and what tier you joined, I'll look you up, Gordon. Send me an email, Gordon. I'll look you up and see. I'll let you know. I won't be home till 1 for tomorrow to you to film. Devin, we could come to you if your stuff's all set up. Well, we're gonna be doing it, y'all. We're gonna be doing it. Woodford Reserve Double Oak Barrel Proof. Is it worth the hunt? So the Woodford Masters collection, which I'm assuming is what you're talking about, are ones the batch proof ones, or the batch proof, I think is what they're called. Used to be ones I'd buy all the time, but they've gotten so expensive now, and there were a couple of misses on those Masters collections. So I don't buy them anymore because I'm too afraid to do what I did before, which is buy a bottle and hate it. I love some of the Masters collections, but one of my least favorite whiskeys I ever bought was a Masters collection. It was called the 5 Malt Stouted Mash. Freaking terrible. So mad that I spent the money on it. But the double oak barrel proof, some of the guys in here probably have had it. I'm sure it's good. I'm looking for a job. Yeah, at this point, we're not big enough. The pay would suck. You can drink all the whiskey you like. I have 3 haystacks. Love the 40% rye. Yeah, Rocksteady, that's actually what we opted for. Our single barrel is a 44% rye. Because I really like the mash bill too. But they're all good. There's the low rye bourbon, the rye, and the high rye bourbon. You really can't go wrong. We've tried all of them of different variations between picking and been on a couple picks and then trying different. They're always good. After party at Tom's house for the Vegas pick. Yes, let's just volunteer, Tom. Tim, thanks for the Whiskey Vault Great video series idea. Those are going to be a lot of fun to see, I think, and a lot of fun to shoot. Okay, I'm going to wrap this because I'm trying to keep these to an hour, and it's been an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm starting to lose my voice. I should learn not to drink whiskey while I'm talking. Connor, we had double oaked barrel proof at Eli's. He has a pick of it. I assume that he was talking about the Masters collection. Yes, the double oaked single barrel store selection double oak is actually really, really good. I almost bought that. But $100 on JD was okay. Why is it? Why is my wife the one that has to bring up the Jack Daniels McLaren bottle? I expect that from everyone else. Everybody is allowed a ridiculous overpriced whiskey purchase one. It's part of the experience. What did you think of Tanager 2? It's good. It's good. I like the Tanager a lot. I wish it was a little less expensive, but I can say that for a lot of bottles. Kind of got to train your throat for these long lives. That sounded dirty. We need a haystack Titan. Oh, okay. So this will be the last thing I'm going to say. I have been pushing Redwood Empire to give me a wheated single barrel. And I'm going to continue to. I've told them I will become the biggest pest on the planet. I've been told by more than one person over at Redwood Empire, a very good source, that the wheated is just not ready for that. But I want a haystack single barrel wheat so bad. They can't see straight. I just want them to make a cast strength Titan. I love Screaming Titan. It's really good. Okay. Joseph Agnes cigar is great. Buddy, get yourself that single barrel. It's so freaking good. Oak and Eden weeded was weird, but cheap crap shot. You know what? Inexpensive weeders can be weird because they can go one of two ways. They can either be not super complex but pleasant, or they try to add complexity to it, and then you can get all kinds of weird, like yeasty notes or like strange bready notes, like just some weird stuff. If you're gonna buy a super cheap weeder, either get makers and put it on ice, or I actually like the Rebel 100, which around here I've seen it for less than $20. That's one of my favorite bottom shelfers is the Rebel 100. I'd like to do a Rebel single barrel too. They do an 8-year single barrel. That's freaking good. Okay, all right, y'all. You guys, thanks for coming by. We're gonna wrap it up. We will be here. Wait, will we be here next week? What's the date? We'll be here next week. So Wednesday night, 6:30, same bat time, same bat channel. You guys, thanks for coming by. Please check out whiskeyabonda.com and all the things that are there. We'll just leave it at that. And if you're a patron, head on over to the Discord. We'll do that as soon as I go and drink some water. Oh, we do have a sabbatical. We are going to do a sabbatical single barrel too. There's just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Are they doing a new Titan batch? Yes. Tim, thanks for coming by, buddy. Appreciate you being here. You guys, I'll see you guys over on the Discord. If you're not a patron or you don't know what I'm talking about, would you get it together, please? Go to whiskeyabonnet.com start